Extra, extra! Get ready for some ancient relics and Hokey religions. Word on the streets is there's some Dwendalian Empire representatives, and even some Kryn Dynasty. Read all about it. 2 silver. Get your papers. Get your papers. Welcome.
That was a wonderful intro.
Oh, that was great.
Yes.
Thank you, Michael. Everybody, welcome to another episode of Ancient Relics and Hokey Religions. I am your host and Dungeon Master, the real Josh T. That was Michael, also known as Mr. Yoda _I_am, with that incredible introduction. And we decided to do some minor costumes today. I thought it'd be fun. Thought it'd be funny, But it's so great to see you all. It's been a little bit. It's been a while, actually. A little bit more than a little bit. But we're all happy to be here. Happy to see you. And before we get started, I think we should introduce ourselves. I already said my name is Josh. J Tabletop and the real Josh T. Joshua Tabletop, if you will. But there are some really cool people here, and I would like you all to get to know them. So let's see. Izzee, if you could just introduce yourself, tell everyone who you are, who you play, and also your character. If they were like in our world and it was Halloween, what would they dress up as? What would she dress up as? What would be her costume? And if you want to say what you would dress up as, or you kind of already are dressed up, but just go for it. Let us know. And then you can pick the next person.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Izzee. I play Melly. She's a divine soul sorcerer. And what would she dress up as? So, as like a little kid, I definitely think she'd be into like the whole like dressing up as like a princess, like an angel, like very classic good girl type vibes. And then as she got older, more of like a gory like angel, where it's like with like the white contacts and like the creepy gore makeup. Yeah, that would be her scene.
Very nice. She does it all herself.
Oh yeah. Okay, we're gonna go with Michael because he's got snowflakes, so we gotta put all attention over there to the cuteness on screen.
I play Mac. I'm Master Yoda I am, or Mr. Yoda I am, depending on who says it. I kind of gone with Mr. But yeah, Snowflake is getting a little feisty now. Mac would probably go as Owen from the campaign. That's who he would go as during Halloween.
I'm into it.
That's good.
You get to pick the next one.
Let's have Bo. Let's see what you got.
You could also call him Derek.
Oh, that's Derek. Right, Derek. Derek, it's your turn.
Thank you. What's up? I'm Evan, or Evbo, or it's Evbo, or Derek. It's not my name. My name's Evan, but you can find me at it's Evbo right there. I do streaming and stuff, and I play Echo, the halfling monk who punch everyone and hits them with big stick. God, the moment you asked this question, my brain went completely blank. I have no idea, so that's why I think Echo would forget to dress up, and everyone would think he dressed up as Bilbo Baggins.
Nice.
So people would be like, "Oh, dude, great Bilbo costume." And he'd be like, "I don't know what that means."
I love that.
What about you, Mr. Jacob Tabletop?
So that's a great question. My name is Jake. I'm the other J in the J&J equation. I am also known as @J&Jake, sometimes with an underscore here and there, sometimes not. I play Vale, the Elven Fighter Warlock, and I still don't know what he would be for Halloween, but he just got the invocation that lets him cast Disguise Self at will, so I think he would be the guy that's different every single time you looked at him at a Halloween party. He'd be like, one minute he looks like a noble, the next minute he looks like a merchant, maybe something like that. Kind of whatever whimsical thing suited him at that moment, he would just switch. I think, yeah, sure, that's what I'll go with. And in case you can't tell, I'm Harry Potter.
He's a wizard.
Lightning bolt, lightning bolt, lightning bolt. So, yes, there we go.
Oh, that's great. Well, those are some awesome answers. I always love hearing what you guys come up with when it comes to things like that. So, let's get into some announcements before we go to the game. Just so everyone knows, we are J&J Tabletop. This is Ancient Relics and Hokey Religions on Rare Drop Roleplay. What is Rare Drop Roleplay, you ask? Rare Drop Roleplay is Rare Drop's delve into the dungeon world of tabletop RPGs and actual plays and things of the sort. We are the Sunday game. Obviously, you could find the other game, which actually just finished up probably a couple months ago, and I know there's a new one coming up soon. So stay tuned for that. But you could find those anywhere you could find podcasts. And it's just going to be under Rare Drop Roleplay. You could also go to their website, which is raredrop.co. You'll be able to find all the other cool things that they have going on. Rare Drop has tons of other podcasts and lots of fun stuff, so you can check them out there. And if you want to actually watch episodes, go over to their YouTube channel, which is just Rare Drop Roleplay. So it'll be over there. You can find it. We also have a playlist on our YouTube channel. So, however you're watching, wherever you're watching or listening or whatever it is you're doing, just drop us a little subscribe or follow or whatever applies, because we'd appreciate it and it'd be awesome. We like to hang out with you, and we'd like to see you more. So I mentioned J&J Tabletop. What is J&J Tabletop? Well, I'm going to leave that to our resident wizard over here. So, Mr. Jacob.
That's me. J&J Tabletop. What is that? Well, that's a project that Josh and I work on, as well as our friends here. But Josh and I are founders, as you will. And it's basically, no matter how much experience you have playing Dungeons and Dragons or tabletop role-playing games, we're just here to try and help you either just be entertained by our ridiculous puns and just get the most out of your games, no matter if you, like I said, if you're a noob or, a seasoned veteran. So, our YouTube channel is our primary thing, which is youtube.com/J&J Tabletop. Command J&J will get you to a link tree that has the links to all of our stuff. However, we've released a lot of videos since we last were live because, kind of went a little nuts with, I don't even know exactly the last thing we did with, we had the UA, the Unearthed Arcana Travelers of the Multiverse. I did a small video on each of the new race lineages options that are there. Izzee and I did an episode of Mellibelle Picks a Spell, which is the third one, which is really cool because she got a lot of cool stuff that happened to her in game here. We did a video on Fae backgrounds and character concepts. Josh and I talked about the Find Familiar spell because Nia in chat right there had asked for some help there. So if you have help or want some help on a topic, let us know. I also did a video on getting organized. Dragon of Icespire Peak, since a playthrough that I ran on J&J Tabletop's channel, which actually has everybody in here except for Evan is in that game. But I was the DM, and then Fizban's Treasury of Dragons came out, and Josh and I reviewed the Way of the Ascendant Monk and Ascendant Dragon Monk, and then the Drake Warden Ranger, which is really kind of cool if you ask me. And Josh really looks like he has something he wants to say. Are you sitting on something fun?
No. No, I'm just awkward. That's it.
Fair enough.
No, that was really fun though. I really enjoyed that. I am curious. I don't know if now's the time. But this is what I was thinking about. if Evan had a chance to look at it, he's our resident monk expert. Did you like the Ascendant Monk?
I got to look at the Ascendant Monk. Unfortunately, I did not get to watch the video. I was on vacation last week, which was great, but I did not have a lot of internet time, so I'm planning to watch it. But I did see that they nerfed the monk. Surprise, surprise! Can't let him have anything.
Why would they nerf it? I think Nia wants me to speak in a Harry Potter British accent.
I like that you specified Harry Potter British accent.
Yeah.
Oh, let's just try to do his voice.
Oh no, it was great. You did great. Yes, I am upset that they added features and then they were like, oh no, wait, hold on. They almost had fun with a monk. Let's dial that back real quick. But I will have to watch the video. I'm very excited to watch it. And y'all should too.
Buffed
think I'll
something. They
subscribe.
nerfed one thing, and they buffed another thing. But
That's true.
I guess if you want to know more about that, then we'll talk about it in the comments of that video.
Absolutely. And
Or
I
in
think
Discord.
there may be one other piece of business we may need to attend to before we get started.
A sort of trick or treat, if you will.
I think that's very fair to say. So, a while ago, during our break, we were discussing the Hershey's Symphony Bar, not sponsored, by the way. And I think it's awesome. And Izzee, you said you had never had it before, is that right? Yeah.
Correct.
So, I think Josh, you had strong opinions because there's almonds in it.
Specifically
think-
Hershey's almonds.
Yeah, but like
Don't have
I think
problem
I'm the
with
only
almonds
one
in
that's
general.
had it so far. Is that right?
I don't think I've ever had it.
right, well-
I don't know if I ever have.
I'm gonna have it now because I want some. And if
All right.
it's your first time here having it, let us know.
If it's your first time here,
And if
for
somehow
joining us. We're
you
all just gonna
happen to have a symphony bar, now is the time to go get it.
I feel like we're taking like Halloween communion. Is that sacrilegious to say?
oh, that's
right
kind
now?
of weird. I don't like that.
It's like weird, but it's like I don't know somehow it fits.
I just thought I'd say something before I take a bite of my candy because there's something we talked about an even longer time ago,
Uh-oh.
and that's the greatest candy there is, which is Reese's. So that's what I brought today. I have a Reese's peanut butter bat.
Okay. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoy it. Evan's got the real deal there.
Yeah, you enjoy that. I'll have a real peanut butter cup for men, like the Vikings used to have.
Yes, definitely.
I will say though, that symphony bar was a delightful taste sensation. A little bit of toffee in there, a little bit of almonds.
I mean, it's edible.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna finish it, so that says something. I'm not
Okay.
gonna not. And then, I mean, this is a big bar. Like,
Yeah, well, I
It's in my
split it into
hand.
four turns.
it's literally not, you know.
Yeah.
And
But
I'm
Izzee,
gonna
this was
finish
your
it, so.
this was your first time, right? What do you think? Oh, she's gonna blast me.
Jake was a waiter for a little bit, so he has that particular skill of asking people questions as soon as they take a bite of something. So that's what's happening right now.
It's like, oh, so your mouth is full. This is when I want you to talk to me. Because that's fun. My mouth is full and I'm talking.
Okay.
Do you want? Okay. So my deliberation. It's a no from me.
Wow.
It just, like, I really like toffee, but it just doesn't have enough. There's just not enough. Like, if I'm gonna eat a toffee bar, I'm just gonna eat a toffee bar. I'm not gonna go get this that's like, what is it? Is it a chocolate bar? Is it a toffee bar? It doesn't know what it is.
It
So,
seems like there's too much going on, you know?
Honestly,
There's three
that's-
ingredients.
from
There's
someone
three
wearing-
ingredients, okay?
A hat and a mullet and a Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah.
So
I
So-
probably would eat one again.
All
The
right.
toffee is not strong enough that it bothers me. It just adds a little bit of extra texture to it.
Exactly, and a little crunch.
You know.
But, Izzee, would you say it's fair to say that it needs more Melly Bell? I mean, cowbell? I mean, wait, what? No? Anyone? I make bad jokes. That's what I do. Okay.
I don't. Have you had it, Josh?
I haven't. So and I'll also
I will
tell you
say
the-
the almond side of it is so mild that you actually might not. It might be better than you realize. Like,
I'll have
At least
to
I got- at least
try
I got-
again to find it next week. So I will also. I went out today. This was not just to be trolly. I went out today to CVS
Sure.
to pick up a Symphony bar. I should have taken a picture because they were like cleaned out of candy.
Well, yeah.
Like, and there was a line of people there. I don't think I've ever seen so many people in a CVS before, and like hardly any candy there, except for they had a little bit of gummy candy, but like chocolate, nada.
Mm-hmm.
So,
man
Well,
goes out on
right.
Halloween and is like, "There's no candy."
well, it's a Symphony bar. I mean, I wasn't in a rich neighborhood. I don't think people are going out handing people like, hey, here, take this whole massive chocolate bar.
This king
like-
size symphony.
Well, thank you for joining us on our candy review show. Ancient
There it
Races
is.
and Hershey Religions.
Yep.
We'll see you next
Yep.
week.
All right. Goodbye.
Oh man. We should start having segments like this, and it'll be a different stupid version of our name. Well, not stupid, like pun, wordplay version of our name like that. I don't know.
Many a time.
If you want to see more about it, then let us know in Discord.
I would love to
All
share
right.
it with you, Dia.
Aside from like the videos and stuff that we do, we also have been streaming a little bit more. We have like actually a good amount of emotes now because we have some very generous and incredible friends. One specifically in this chat right now, Nia. We appreciate you.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, we've been playing some games throughout the week as well. We had some trouble with a hag last week on Baldur's Gate 3. And I think we're gonna end up doing that again at some point soon. Can't say exactly when, but anyway, you should just follow us on all the things and join the Discord so we can hang out and talk more. And if you want to learn more about how to play D&D and that kind of thing, definitely go check out our YouTube channel. I know there were some people in chat who specifically said they wanted to learn how to play the game. We have playlists and even like one of the first videos we did was like a walkthrough where we did it was kind of like a mock one shot where Jake had some things where he was being the DM and he was explaining what he was doing, and I was the player and I was explaining what I was doing and how all that works. So that's kind of like a good place to get your feet wet, aside from just watching this. But anyway, I think that's everything except for Evan. Do you have a planned stream this week?
I'm sorry, I'm eating Symphony Bar and enjoying it so much. Yes, I do. I'm planning to stream more Paper Mario tomorrow. Paper Mario 1000 Year Door. I've been voice acting it using voice mod effects. You guys have probably, well, I guess it's been a while since I've done it, but I use voice mod on here sometimes to do Echo's Ghostwise telepathy voice effect. You may hear some of that later. But it does all kinds of fun things, so I've been having a really great time doing all sorts of different voices, like
Tech, the world's smartest computer.
and plenty of other things. It's great. So come on through if you like Paper Mario. If you don't like Paper Mario, we can make fun of it. But I won't mean it because I love it. So yeah, tomorrow night about 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be doing that. So come through, please. Twitch.tv/itsevbo. You'll see it under my name, under my face. Yeah.
And the voices aren't the only fun part. Like there's plenty of silly things that happen. His Yoshi is named Left Beef, so there's a lot to look forward to. I will certainly be there to check that out. I hope to see you there too. That's pretty much everything. So, without further ado, let's get into the game. We will talk about where we left off last time on Ancient Relics and Hokey Religion. And boy, last time was a doozy. So, last episode on Ancient Relics and Hokey Religions, we had our group of adventurers return to town after completing a quest, finding some powerful things, fighting a dragon, parlaying with frost giants. And after a long journey, they came back, had some conversations with each other about who should go return the quest to the queen and explain to the Queen of Uthadurn what they had done and, get the reward and whatnot. So, they decided that Melly and Carrick being one of the Queen's glass blades, protector of the city, protector of the area around Uthadurn and in it itself, the two of them would go, explain what had happened, and collect their reward. As they did that, Mac ran into an old friend or colleague, but we'll get more on that later. Izzee and Carrick went into the Capitol building of Uthadurn and joined in on a meeting of sorts. Some sort of planning was going on. The Queen was there, the King. But they made time for Carrick, they made time for Melly, explained what had happened, and the Queen spoke up for them on their behalf and gave them the gold that they were owed, and also promised them access or use of teleportation circle, get back to Echo's hometown. So after some of those conversations, they went to leave the building. Melly, well, she didn't, I guess it didn't really stand out to her too much, but when she was walking through, she saw a thing. And that thing was a shield leaning up against a wall. And on that shield, there was the crest of the Dwendalian Empire. Which, not a great thing. Definitely a weird and interesting thing. But they got their reward, started to continue back to find the others in the group. Meanwhile, Mac left Echo and Vale to talk to his old colleague. Now, they sat down at a bench and discussed some matters. Mac found out that the Kryn dynasty, who they had already known, went to Uthadurn, and supposedly that's why the city was locked down. Well, his contact told him that it wasn't just the Kryn. The Dwendalian Empire came to Uthadurn right afterwards. And this was when the city went on lockdown. And who would be the representative that the Dwendalian Empire would send? Well, none other than Lord Baracus Obamius. A name that they knew well. So, Mac, speaking with his contact, found out that she wanted him to cause some chaos, potentially assassinate this representative from the Dwendalian Empire, thus potentially forcing Uthadurn into a war they wanted no part of. Sounded like Mac was interested. Let's pop right back into that conversation and see what happens next. Mac, you were just sitting down at this bench. She had just told you what had happened, what the situation was. You asked for intel, and she said, "Does that mean you're interested?" I believe you said, "I think I am."
I said yes, I am.
Okay. So, in response to that, in response to yes, I am, she will just say, "Very good. What would you like to know?"
Where is he gonna be tonight?
Well, if my sources are correct, he and a few of his guard be renting out one of the rooms at Axebreaker Brewing Company.
I kind of raise my eyebrow at that. You mean they're not holding up in the castle somewhere?
They were for some time, but it appears they were given leave.
Do you know how many guards?
Don't know how many guards, but can't be too many.
And do you
They
know
don't
what
want-
room he's staying in? Because I'm assuming that they probably have more than one if it's him and a small entourage.
Well, they're not staying in the room. It's just from my understanding, it's a sort of private party room, if you will.
Okay. Well, do you have anything else to be aware of that you know of? I mean, is it just standard guards, or do you know if they brought anything I should be aware of? Any mages or other sorcerers?
No mages from what I can tell. There is one guard he's been right next to him any time I've seen him. And he seems powerful enough. Some
Do
sort
you
of knight.
Do you happen to know the guard's name?
I don't.
Okay. Well, like I said, I'm not gonna be here much past early tomorrow at the most likely at the latest. So I will do what I can tonight. Obviously, you'll know if I was successful.
Very good. Bugger, it is always a pleasure to work in your service to the dynasty. Is greatly appreciated. You honor
I
your
always
family.
do what I can.
Is there any way I could help you this night?
I don't think so. I mean, do you happen to have any more poisons? I do have a couple, but additional poison never hurts.
One moment, please. I had something. She'll, for now, when you say that to her, she gets kind of like a grin on her face, and Kaylin looks at you and just says, "Darling, I always have poison on me." And she
Was my
takes
polite way of asking. I kind of chuckle a little bit.
She takes a small vial out of a pouch and just kind of sits it down on the bench.
I'd rather no other help just because I was here before you guys even got here, and I would rather there not be any association of the official Kryn envoy to anything that may happen. So I kind of just like hold it between two fingers, like, and just, this will be more than enough. And then slide it in my pocket.
That's what I like about you, Mac. Always thinking ahead. Always keeping your country out of trouble.
Well, do you know if he's there now? Or if he was going to be heading there?
Well, from what I learned, the room will be rented out from 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock at night. I don't know exactly when he will be there, but that would be your window.
Okay. Anything else?
If you're not able to kill him, you could do just as much damage. If a Dwendalian soldier went mad and directly attacked citizens of Uthodurn, or guards of Uthodurn. Either way, create chaos in the way I know you know how.
Will do. And on that note, I'll go ahead and get up and start walking towards the stall that I left Echo and Vale at.
Okay.
I have a question.
Sure.
So Vale isn't where Echo is. He used disguised self to turn himself into like an older, middle-aged elven man,
Mm-hmm.
and walked away. I don't know how much Mac may have seen, but did Vale see the poison handed? And if so, could he just see like, oh, she handed him something?
Roll perception.
Okay.
She was trying to be discreet, but you were paying attention, so.
It was an 8.
I would say no, you didn't see it. Or you might have seen some sort of like movement where it might have looked like Mac picked something up, but you definitely wouldn't have seen.
Very unclear.
Yeah, it's unclear is definitely the right word for it.
Okay. I think he would wait 2 to 3 minutes after he sees Mac before he would head back to that stall.
What are you looking at when you're waiting your 2 to 3 minutes?
I think he would just keep an eye on her, not
Okay.
like staring, but like just curious to see where she goes or what she does.
Sure. Yeah, after a few minutes, she actually stands up and begins to walk in the opposite direction.
Yeah, he doesn't follow her. He just notes where she went. That's all.
Okay.
And then after he feels like she's out of sight, then he would go and join them. So I'm sure they'll have a little something before I get there.
Okay. Mac, you're back at the place he left them. I know Echo was kind of doing his own thing too, for a moment. But I assume you'd head back to the meeting place, or
Yeah. Echo's only real goal was to make sure he stayed within 30 feet so that he could keep telepathic link.
oh, yes,
He was probably not putting as much effort into like watching what was happening, if that makes sense. Just like kind of keeping an eye on where everything was and not getting spotted. That was his only concern. So
Perfect.
I would say he's not trying to gather more information than what he might be given from Mac himself. So I think as he's approaching, Echo might kind of look a little shifty around and, well, everything okay?
Sort of. I may have to do something before we leave. Either tonight or tomorrow. I'm not sure when we're gonna be leaving, but I may have been tasked something from my superiors. And something I can't say no to.
What did they ask you to do?
I've been asked to perform a job. I don't really think I should go into the rest. I don't want to get anyone more involved than you already are just by associating with me. But unfortunately, because of the fact that I do still have family back home, I kind of can't say no.
As you went through that description of it, Echo kind of like was standing a bit straighter, and I think his demeanor has gone very serious. I think he understands what you're. I think he's picking up what you're putting down.
I may be smiling a little bit, but Mac is like stone cold, like it's, of grave importance.
If this is what it sounds like, Mac, I don't know what to say. I think maybe we should wait until Vale gets back and at least talk about this, because Mac, I want to help you, but I don't really know what to say.
I can't ask for help, and it's not something that I would feel comfortable asking help with. I think it's just something that I need to handle.
I think that's a fine time for Vale to come back.
So, I don't know if Max saw Vale change into like a middle-aged older man or not, but
I did not. Because I want to say you did that while you were still around the corner, or like around the stall before you came out. So I don't think I would have seen it.
either way, you see the elven equivalent of someone in his mid to late 50s walk up to the two of you, and then you just see the skin almost like dissolve in shadow and just wisp away, and then you see Vale.
That's new, but welcome back.
Are you all right? What just happened?
I have to perform a job before we go.
I think he's just still staring at you.
And I don't have much of a choice.
Okay, is this something that Vale would have, like, is this like some kind of groundwork Mac may have laid with him in the past? Like, I just want to make sure I act
I mean,
accordingly.
I feel like you would know some possibly of what I would do. Like, not like all details and whatnot, but I feel like you would have a strong enough inkling that you would get it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
probably know for sure what I was talking about, as opposed to I don't know
Yeah.
how far Echo realized.
All right, so who's the target?
I'd rather not go into that. Like I don't want to involve any of you more than you already are.
I think
You don't-
Echo puts his hand kind of through his hair for a second and just takes like a couple steps off to the side. Is like just like get some air from a place. Like obviously everyone's already outside. But he's just like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, I think what might be different for Vale is this. You don't think you can say no?
No, I can't. My family is still back in the dynasty. And there are some orders that you don't say no to.
If they're in danger, listen, I know we've had some bumps along the road lately, but if they're in danger, I would like to help.
I understand that, but I can't ask you to get involved with my work. I mean, granted, I know that you understand the messiness of things more than most. Don't know if Echo is close enough to hear that. I would probably be saying that to where I'm probably saying that to where he couldn't hear it. But even then, I still would rather not get all of you involved.
Hmm. I certainly understand that feeling. I think Vale just looks over at Echo to see what he's doing. Is he still just getting some space?
He's probably starting to walk back over. He just looks like he's, like trying to get like blood back into his hands or something. He's just like really the weight of it is something he's very uncomfortable with. So yeah, but he's heading back toward you guys.
So what would you have us do?
I mean, whatever we were going to do while we waited for the teleportation circle. And just be ready to go for whenever we do leave.
Just like that?
I know we tend to not split up very much. Especially not on our own. I think we all know Melly will not be happy about that.
Well, I mean, I will have some of my countrymen around, so I won't necessarily be alone, but...
I'm hesitant to just say insight check, but I kind of want to see what glean from his behavior. It doesn't seem like all that out of the ordinary, but I think Vale at this point is kind of wondering like when you ask someone who might be like held hostage, like, do you need help? Kind of a moment. Like he's
Yeah. So do you want to roll something?
I feel like insight would make sense, but sometimes that can be interesting with inter-party things.
I mean,
Well, that's a
so
go ahead.
oh, you just rolled?
I did
Okay. What'd you roll?
16 total.
Okay. And what are you trying to find out from that?
Definitely like I mean he said as much that he's holding information back, but just how sincere he is in like why doesn't he want us to be involved? Is he like hiding something to protect us or hiding something because he knows we wouldn't
Okay.
approve kind of a thing?
Yeah. Michael. He rolled a 16. What do you think you would gather from that? Is there something that you're like, I mean, what do you
Well,
think?
that.
Do you feel like you
see,
need to roll
it's-
deception?
It's one of those things.
hard.
I do think that he would pick up that I was withholding somewhat for both reasons. But I don't know if he would know if it was about him or if it was about Echo and Melly.
That's what I was thinking too.
Hmm.
All right, so basically nothing. Yeah, all right. That's fair.
I mean, well, you can deduce as to,
Yeah.
you can tell that I am withholding a little bit. How you choose to interpret that,
Yeah.
For both sides of those things.
Mm-hmm. So, I believe we're supposed to meet, and he just looks over at Echo at the temple. Are you saying you're going to leave us now?
What time is it?
Say about like 7:30.
I will go with you to the temple. I have probably about an hour and a half before my appointment.
All right. So let's do that and meet up with Melly.
All right. All in favor? Just kidding. Everybody good with that?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll say you head over to the temple. By the time that you finish all of your conversation that you had with Kaylin, and then the kind of side conversations and all of that, I'd say you get there and then you see walking up Melly and I think Carrick was with you, right? He was coming with you? Okay, you see Melly and Carrick. Carrick will see you all ahead and hello there.
And we have great news. So the queen, first of all, she was very generous. In that she did give each of us a small sum for defeating the dragon, but I'm sorry. More important, we can take the transportation circle and we can take it right now. We can get out of here immediately.
That is great news.
That is fantastic.
I think Val just looks at Carrick, looks at Mac, and then looks back at Carrick. So what's the plan as he looks back at Carrick?
Well, if you have all your affairs in order, I can take you to the Glass Blades building and we can get everything going. If you still need some time, I can go over there and prepare things for you. Maybe you want to grab a drink beforehand, see mother and father. It's whatever you like. You know, Queen pronounced sent word before we left, so you can leave whenever is best.
Also includes now to leave.
Yes, of course.
Why is everyone?
I think Vale just looks at Mac.
I
Is
do have a quick errand I need to run before we do go, but we could meet you there, Carrick, if you can get things ready for us, and we'll be there shortly.
Of course. Is there anything I can help with?
No. Unless I look at everyone else, like, I don't know if there's anything anyone else would like, may need from him.
Echo's eyes go purple. He has not broken the link with Mac. And Mac hears in his head.
So you're just not going to tell her?
And this is me saying this back to you. I can't tell her while Carrick is here. That's why I was hoping if he went back, that would leave all of us.
Echo kind of just, like, as though he's got shoulder pain. He's, like, very fidgety, but he just, he doesn't really respond with any words.
I don't think popping in to see mother and father again at this point makes sense. It's a little late. Give each of them a hug for me.
Of course. I'm sure you'll be back soon.
It would be nice.
Well, I guess I will leave you to it.
Where should we
Like
meet
I
you?
said, meet me at the barracks of the glass blades. Brother, you remember where it is, right?
I do, yes.
Good.
I don't know exactly how long we'll be, but it should be this evening.
Of course.
That's
Well,
wonderfully specific for you, isn't it?
Yes, of course. I had no other plans except for to await your mating call, brother. So, whenever it pleases you.
As
it
is our
won't be
custom.
long. I just have to settle up a couple gambling debts I may have acquired, so it won't be long.
Is that a lie?
That is 100% a lie.
Roll a deception check.
That is a 23.
Carrick will just kind of shake his head and just say, I should have taken you for a gambler. Well, anyway, it is respectable for you to be paying those debts before you leave town, as I'm sure you could have ran out on them quite easily. Anyway, my friends, it's been a pleasure. I'll be waiting for you.
I think Vale gives him the Roman handshake and the bro hug with the 3 pats on the back. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll see you soon.
He'll walk off. Oh, before he heads off, I'll just say, by the way, Melly did a great job speaking on your behalf. Excellent representative. fool you.
There is never a doubt.
I'll give you a wink and head off.
Oh, while you were meeting the queen, we ran into one of my superiors from the Kryn dynasty. And I have been tasked a job to complete before we go.
Okay. How long is it gonna take us to accomplish this?
Well, I was needing to run this myself, but I mean, it shouldn't take much more than an hour, maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours max.
Are you sure you have to go alone?
I kind of look at everyone. Just I would rather not get all of you involved any more than you already are.
Well, what is it that you have to do? I feel like we've all been through so much together. It doesn't make sense for us not to all do something that should only take you an hour and a half. It could take us even less to do together.
Yes, but not everything that I have to do is pretty. Are you saying anything, or are you just like staring at me, waiting for me to speak more?
But she's definitely she's like fidgeting with her hands, like definitely like kind of like wringing her hands with like a part of her dress.
I kind of glance away and look at Echo for half a moment. What's Echo doing?
I'll say Echo was looking at Mac, but then the moment that Mac looked at him, he like just looked down. Like he can't even look him in the eye right now. He feels very uncomfortable. I would say it's that more than anything. It's not necessarily like, I mean, I don't know how much you would get from a look, but I would say you're not necessarily getting like judgment from it. Like I can't, like, you sicken me. He's just like, I have no idea what to do here. He's completely torn because of what you
Echo,
what you said to him.
Is there a private room in this temple we could go into real quick? I would rather not continue this conversation out on the street.
Yes, I think the room that we were staying in, downstairs, below the library, right this way,
And he'll just start walking, like speed walking toward the door.
On the way there, I think Vale would just put his hand, like as like they're walking, he would just kind of put his hand on Melly's shoulder and just kind of give her like a solemn nod as they're walking in there, but also with like a little bit of a knowing glance, if you will. Interpret
So-
that however you will.
As we make it into the room, Mac just kind of sighs. I've been tasked by one of my superiors to eliminate Baracus Obamas. He's the Dwendalian representative that's here. And this is one of those tasks that I am not at liberty to just say no. You know, it's one thing while I'm out and about doing whatever I so choose, but once they give me an order, that reflects on my family as well as it does me. And I do have some family back in the dynasty. So it puts me in a rough spot, because I feel like fleeing is not just an option.
Why does the dynasty want Obamius eliminated?
That's not... I'm at the level of go and do, not at the level of why.
They all look skeptical. Certainly don't want anything to happen
not
to
the
your
hand
family.
that holds it.
I certainly don't want anything to happen to your family.
And I'm not asking any of you to do anything because I don't want to put any of you in that position. Because this is messy business. And I'm just kind of looking around at them.
I'm gonna take a walk.
Do you want Isla or any company?
Sure. Isla would make good company, actually.
And he just poofs Isla. Perches right up on your shoulder. Little Owla.
He'll just take a walk around the temple. He's too confused for this situation.
I think Vale's just looking at Melly at this point to see what she's doing.
So she sits down, like kind of like there is like a big weight that's been placed on her, just like sits down right onto the floor. There is no other option.
Not that I know of. I mean, the only other option I could see of would be to possibly make a failed attempt. But I don't know how I'd accomplish that, still get away, and it not reflect badly on me.
Seeing you in action, in battle, I feel like the likelihood of someone believing that a failed attempt had happened is slim.
In this situation, they probably would understand some, just because obviously it is very short notice and it's not like we control that many variables to where it would be something easy and clean.
So if there was a way to have it be a failed attempt, Would you be comfortable doing that? I understand.
That worries me more than trying for real, but what do you have in mind?
Nothing at the moment. I know that I'm able to teleport, but it's not exactly the stealthiest. And I could move you and myself out, but everyone would know that something had happened.
Yeah, I mean that. Are you talking about that move you did back in the cave?
Yes, not discreet at all.
Well, I feel like that would increase the likelihood of us actually getting caught.
Uh, I don't know what to say. I'm not gonna say I don't understand, because if something might have happened to my family, I don't know the lengths that I would go to. But I feel like there's so much at stake. Because even if you are successful, what happens if you don't get away?
I mean, with anything like this, there's always risk. I mean, what if there's the risk that they would catch and kill me? There's the risk that I could get caught. I mean, there's always with any situation like this. I mean, there are risks, but what other options do I have? You know, and I don't really know how you all would be able to help without even increasing more risk. And I also would feel uncomfortable even asking for any of you to help with this. It's just I'm just trying to be upfront with what's going on. Not talking about stuff has caused enough issues with the group, and while I know this may not be the best of subjects, it is what it is. And at first I was thinking about just slipping away and doing it, but I don't think that that would be fair to any of you.
Well, I definitely have to agree. I think holding back some things has put strain and stress on everyone. So, I appreciate you being completely upfront and forthcoming with this. I just... I can't exactly wrap my head around it.
At the end of the day, it's a war.
Josh, can I ask you a question? What does
course.
Vale know about Baraka Obamius?
What Bale knows about Baracus Obamius is, well, I mean, first off, why don't you roll a history check we'll say with advantage because you've
I did forge his signature real good.
yeah, you can.
That's a natural 20.
A natural
for
20?
A 26 total. Yep.
Very nice. So, you've actually had some personal dealings with him where he he started off as kind of like a local magistrate, very hard on we'll say crimes like bribery and smuggling and things of the sort.
Something I would know a lot about.
Something you would potentially, I don't know, I mean, I don't know, that's maybe. Um, but you also know that he, some of it came from a sense of order, but some of it there was some ruthlessness in there as well, which is not uncommon for those who are deeply involved with the Dwendalian Empire. There are some, as in all situations, you know, most people exist kind of like in the gray area, but there are some nasty people involved in there, and he was one of them. One of your coworkers got caught by him, and we'll just say some nasty things were done to him to pay for his crimes. But because of how stern he was and how hard he was on small crimes and things of the sort, he worked his way up pretty well in the political circle. He's now actually one of the higher ups in the Dwendalian Empire. You would assume probably making some military decisions, that kind of thing, but also just he's in charge of a lot of different people, and is connected to some very important people.
So he seems like he could be a pretty key figure to eliminate.
If you were trying to take down the Dwendalian Empire, then
Yeah.
it would definitely be a pretty big blow against them.
Well, Obamius is a tool. And Mac, if the situation were reversed, I do believe you would help me. So if you don't want to go alone, he just glances at Melly quickly and then back to you and says, I will work with you.
I mean, backup would be nice, as I don't have a clear indication as to how many people are around him.
Melly, I don't know if I'm sure he would stay out of trouble, but I do think Echo could use a friend right now.
Melly doesn't say anything. She just gets up and leaves.
So now it's just Vale and Mac. Mac, you know why they want him gone, and I know you know why they want him gone.
Of course I can assume, but I don't know. Like, I haven't been told anything, so anything I'm doing is conjecture just as much. I mean, I'm not gonna say that that's not why, because obviously I've thought about it.
I think Vale kind of cocks his head, like, did she hand you something?
Yes, she handed me a vial of poison. I pull it out and show you. Slip it back in my pocket.
All right.
What made it hard even telling you and not just doing it? But I'm not trying to make moves without everyone here knowing what's going on. Even if it's...
Let's say you're the
Um,
Dwendalian Empire, and a member of your faction that you sent to Uthadern to negotiate whatever it is they're doing here, under the care of Uthadern, dies under their watch. What would you do if you were King Dwendal?
It depends. I mean, honestly, I don't see him attacking directly or declaring war because of the fact why would you actively encourage another enemy against you while you're already engaged in combat with another country?
No, but if it makes Uthadern sympathetic to the dynasty's cause, that makes it all the more easy for them to support in less direct ways. I think he just puts his hands on his hips and he just turns and stares at the wall.
So what
for
do
a
you want me
second.
to do? Just let my family
Of course not.
get thrown in prison and who knows what? That's on a good day? Because
course
here's the thing. The failed attempt would have that same impact even if it let us get out with our hands not bloodied. But it would still have that same impact of as the actual assassination in and of itself.
Well, this is obviously not an easy situation, and I did mean what I say. He is a tool.
Oh, I know he's not a good person, and it does not bother me in the slightest of having to take him out. It bothers me in the fact I know that this has got to be tearing both Echo and Melly apart, and that hurts me more than anything. And obviously, I don't want to make things here more difficult for you and your family either.
This is a situation I'm pretty familiar with. I think he just takes a deep breath.
Well, that's why I almost was going to keep it from them, and maybe I should have, but I'm just trying to get away from that because I feel like that's caused more issues with us than any of the enemies we've actually faced.
I think he did the right thing. He just kind of shrugs and shakes his head and just says, "I'm in." That's what are your thoughts?
Well, so he rented out a room at the Axebreaker Inn from 8 to 12 tonight. So he's probably either there or heading there now. He has a small entourage, but I don't know exactly how many. And from what I've heard, there's one who stays by his side pretty hardcore. I do know that there's no sorcerers or wizards or anything like that. So that's a huge plus, but
We should probably know the lay of the land before we settle in on anything, right?
yes. I would agree.
Well,
It
I'll
might
follow your
not...
lead.
How long can you hold what you did earlier? How long can you do that?
It would last for an hour.
Okay.
I would just need to excuse myself there to extend it. It's not something that takes much of my energy.
It might not be a bad idea for when we go in there, or maybe even have, if you're willing to, if you don't mind scouting out. I mean, I know we were in there a little bit, so I know the lay of the main area, but if you wanted to scope out any wall in a disguise couldn't hurt.
Yes, of course.
All right. With that, while we think about those plans and figure all those things out, let's take a quick break. So anybody, if you have any questions about anything, whether it's what's going on here, you know, if this is your first episode and you want to know like some background information, you know, throw those questions in chat. Same things that have been rolled or whatever. Any questions about the game itself and how it's played, throw them in chat. We'll get to them as soon as we get back, and we'll be back into the game in a couple minutes. All right. Yeah, we thought... Evan thought that you had like a whole giant pie, and I thought that you had cottage cheese.
Just a big bowl of cottage cheese.
It was pretty big for
You know.
It would have been huge.
You know, but you're also looking at the thing, it's like this big. Or maybe you were looking at the game room. I don't know.
The world may never know.
Fun fact: I don't like cottage cheese.
I
So
also
it would have-
like
That's
cottage
correct.
cheese.
Would have never been a giant bowl of it.
That is the appropriate response. That is correct.
Yes.
That's great. Yeah, no, I'm right there with both of you. Not a cottage cheese fan.
Yucky.
For me, it's all right, but that's not something I ever seek.
Oh, you don't want to eat a big old bowl of cheese curds?
Nope.
Boy.
I'm
The only
good.
time I want to beat a big old bowl of cheese curds is if it's also covered in fries and gravy.
Yes.
The only
Yes.
time.
Poutine.
Poutine, baby. We're not even
Drown
Canadian,
me
and we
in
like
poutine.
the poutine. All right.
Bury me in poutine when I die.
Oh man, that would be horrible. It's like
It smells so bad in here.
what
In
one
this
of those.
funeral home.
It's one of those scenes in a movie. Like there's a specific movie I'm thinking of with Will Smith that I don't want to say the name of because spoilers, even though it's from like over 10 years ago. But he ends up dead in a bathtub, and I imagine that bathtub in your case, filled with poutine instead of water.
Just
Yeah.
imagine like a cement truck backing up and like the thing going, and it'd just be the gravy and everything from the poutine just pouring down onto the
Oh
coffin.
man, like
Or worse, there's a
everybody.
mix-up with the trucks, and that one went to go fix the hole in the highway.
It would still work.
Oh, man.
I'm imagining that
for
scene.
seagulls.
Where they carry the coffin out, and it's like, oh, why is it so sloshy?
I was
Yikes.
imagining a scene where like everybody takes a rose and throws it, you know, on the coffin, but instead of a rose, it was like a French fry. They just drop it on there, you know.
My name is Baraka Obamius, and I approve this message.
We talk about food a lot.
Yeah, we do. We really need to have a podcast about food because it would just be fun.
Mhm.
Be funny. But Meth
Ancient
Productions.
Relish and Hungry Religions?
Nice. That's great. Meth Productions just subscribed with Prime, and thank you so much, dude. You're super cool. And you're about to see something super cool that he made specifically for this game. And if you want him to make something specifically for your game, then you should go to this little website that I'm about to throw in chat here. So...
Hi, Tommy.
There it is. Hey, Tommy. Thanks for joining us tonight. All right. So, everybody good? First off, all good still. Okay. So, Also, happy Halloween, Tommy. Happy Halloween. So our friends here met back up at the temple. They sent Carrick off, and Mac told them what was happening. That he was sent to assassinate a leader, a military leader, no less, of the Dwendalian Empire, named Lord Baracus Obamius. Now, Echo left. He didn't want to be a part of the conversation. Melly, after the decision was made that Vale would help him, also left. And now we're here. So, I guess real quick, Evan, what's Echo doing? What did Echo do? Like, is there anything? What happened?
I think Echo probably ended up in the main foyer, just like at the fountain. And I think all he did is he just sat down at a spot at the fountain, put Isla down like on the edge of it next to him, and just kind of like sat in that. I think he just is, every so often he'll just like scritch Isla on the head, maybe like play with the water. He's trying to be like as mindless as he can. He's trying to like meditate without meditating, because I think he feels like it would be weird to meditate right now. Like he's got too much in his head that he needs to like empty it out first, even though that's really not how it works. This would be like the perfect time for him to do it. But he's just trying to do that. So he's just like, all right, I'm just gonna like listen to the sound of the water from the fountain and like hang out with my little bird friend, and that's fine. That's great. And nothing's wrong, and we're all having a nice day. And I think that's it. He's just...
All right. And then Melly gets up and walks out. Melly, you see Echo sitting by the water. You see him scratch Isla on the head. What do you do when you leave?
I think Melly isn't gonna say anything, but she'll like walk past Echo's like eye line, and then like on the other side of the fountain, she's just gonna be pacing back and forth. She can't stay still. She won't say anything, but she's definitely like if it was that cartoon, like she'd be wearing a hole in the floor.
Would you say, is there anyone else out here?
It's kind of late. Everybody's doing their nightly things. So it is, you two are the only ones in the foyer.
Okay.
So, are you going to go?
And now, Vale, to go do the thing? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
No. Every time I've represented us as a group, I've spoken of being light, and I won't have any part in casting a shadow on this city. And I don't know what to do, because I know Mac doesn't have a choice. And I would like to think that if he did have a choice, he would choose not to. As a matter of fact, I do think he would choose not to, which makes me know he really doesn't. I don't think he would willingly put any of us in danger.
I agree with you, Melly, and I'm sorry I left you alone in there. Knowing why he has to do this, that his family could be in danger, I had to remove myself from the equation. I won't stop him. I can't. If I stop him, then I'm putting his family in danger. I'm harming our friend. But I can't in good conscience help. I know nothing about this man. And even if I did, I don't know. But I'm glad you're not going either. It makes me feel less, I don't know, cowardly.
It's not quite cowardly at all to not participate in something that you don't believe in. There was brief talk of maybe figuring out some way to fudge it. Maybe it could be a failed attempt. But I don't know if that's something that Mac would be comfortable with. I just hate the idea of after not wanting to stir the pot and be a big part of it. You know, we already kind of ended up dead center with what we carry on our shoulders, and then now this kind of feels like getting thrust right into the center of this big main conflict. It makes me nervous for what might be coming down the road.
Not to mention, does Izzee have the bag of holding on her?
Yes.
So he would pat the part of himself to mime where she would have the bag.
Not to mention, you know, if whatever it is he's trying to do goes poorly, we may not have our chance to go to my home to bring that somewhere safer.
I feel like this is just awful timing. We could have left. When Carrick and I arrived here, we all could have just followed him to where the circle is and left.
It does seem like awful timing. Perhaps suspiciously awful timing. But I'm not sure what we can do besides wait it out.
don't even know how any of these things work. Are they going to meet us at the circle? Will we be leaving right away, or... I feel like it's going to be a very big red flag for us to be leaving on the same night that Baracus is going to meet his fate.
Echo puts his head in his hands for a second. I think we'll actually just turn around and splash some of the fountain water on his face. I don't think there's any version of this that ends up looking good. But it sounds, like you said, Mac wouldn't do this if he had a choice.
We should... I don't know. I almost don't want to know the details of everything. But we should find out where we'll all be meeting afterward.
I agree. Oh. Actually.
And he'll lean down to Isla and scratch her on the head.
Hey, girl. Can you, ask Vale where he would like us to meet?
Oh. She kind of like takes 2 side steps and gives you a little like nod and a whoo, you know. Jake,
Yes, sir.
Isla can just notify you about things.
We have a 100-foot range, and the way I always thought of Isla potentially being used in this way was like a Wi-Fi extender.
Okay, yeah.
With Echo.
Yeah, so I mean, like, as you're talking to Mac and kind of making your plans, you hear this, like, you hear what Echo had just said, you know, where he wants to know where to meet after and what the plan is.
I think Val just says, tell Echo I don't know yet, but I'm going to be looking after Mac, and if he crosses the line, I will stop him.
How does Isla communicate that?
I feel like it's probably just like impressions and feelings more than direct words. And I think if she were to communicate that to Echo, it would be the impressions and feelings you would get would be like, I'm not sure, but I'm going to do my best to make this right.
But you were asking where to meet afterwards as well? Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know. Yeah, so I.
It looks like Isla is having a stroke. No, I'm just-
Oh, God.
So is Isla like... I'm assuming she's just kind of making owl sounds, like kind of...
She,
Yeah.
I think she also would kind of just like lean into Echo's face and just kind of like, almost like try to pet his face with her face.
I wonder.
And Echo's eyes go purple, and he tries to communicate with Isla telepathically.
I kind of thought you were doing that already. I apologize.
No, he just spoke to her out loud, not thinking,
Oh, no.
because we actually haven't done this before.
That's true. That is fair.
So when you do that, that's very interesting. Do you know what your Ghostwise telepathy like says? Does it say creature? Does it say
let me get the specifics on it.
okay. Just because this is going to happen again, so I want to get it right the first time so that we set the precedent.
1 second.
I'm just reading up on Find Familiar too.
You can speak telepathically to any creature within 30 feet of you. And what it says is that the creature understands you only if the two of you share a language. Which we did specify very early on that you allowed this to be a two-way speech, that it did not, just mean that I could only speak to that. And it only understands me if the two of us share a language, but Isla is able to communicate with Vale.
It just says communicate telepathically. It doesn't really give details as to spoken language.
Okay.
So, technically, Isla does not know language, but she does know how to talk directly with me.
I've always had it like... I feel like we've always explained it as like, you see and hear what she sees and hears. Like for moments like that, like we called it like the work type thing and stuff. Like, so she's not saying like,
if
Jake,
I do
like,
that, yeah,
or Vale, like run around. Like you're more getting like the, hey, like
it's
this
separate.
is the image that I just saw of these people walking towards you.
Yeah, I mean that's a separate thing if I'm sharing her sight and sound. But I don't know. Well, I guess what do you try and let's see what happens.
All right, I think then Echo will... It's almost like... I don't know how to describe it. I guess like opening up a book that's in another language and you kind of get it. It's like, I don't know if I traveled to Sweden a few years ago and I don't know Swedish, but their words are made up in such a way that it's like, okay, I kind of get this. So Echo attempts to send Isla what ends up, I imagine, looking like a crayon drawing of Echo and Melly, like wandering around, like, where do I go?
Say Vale, the message
Like,
is
kind of
received.
looking and like, like 3 frames of animation, just kind of.
It's like a GIF. It just keeps
Yeah,
like you
exactly.
just keeps going
Okay.
over.
So I guess wherever Mac and Vale are in their conversation, he looks really confused for a second.
You also know where Isla is, and you know that she's like, if you open that door and look like 30 feet ahead, that's where they are.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, he's going to... okay, so he's going to do that and go into her sight and ears, and I feel like instead of her moving a little bit like an owl, you just see Isla look directly at you, eye to eye, and Isla actually has the same color eyes as Vale, so it's almost like, wait a second.
Oh, I guess that's you. And he would be, I think,
He just
speaking out
nods.
loud. I think he'd be speaking out loud at this point. Shall we meet afterwards here? Or at the circle? And he'll point down when he says here, and he'll do like kind of trace a circle in the air when he says circle.
I think Isla just holds up a wing. And then she goes back to looking like an owl. As he looks at Mac, where do we tell them to meet when we're done?
I would say that we should probably be prepared to leave then, so to meet at the circle.
That might look odd to my brother. I don't think it would make sense for us to go off on an errand for you at the moment, from what he knows.
Well, I mean, not necessarily meet up with him before we got there, but to meet up right outside of there.
Okay. Do you have that stone still, actually?
I do, yes.
All right. And he switches back to Isla. He just looks at Echo. And then a little wing goes. As she's looking at you.
Echo rolls his eyes, and his eyes go purple.
Okay, where?
Not sure. Mac has the stone.
He'll respond, okay. And yeah, he'll just turn to Melly then, and seems like we may have to play this by stone.
So this is really happening.
I think I can at least say this for me. We only know the parts of our friends that we know. They are an entire person, and we know Mac has done unsavory things, and that he's had a whole life before we even met. It's hard not to feel a certain way about this, and I'm not going to lie and say that I don't. I don't even know if... I don't really know where I'm going with this, besides to say, let's just be ready to do what they need us to do. Short of helping him do this.
I understand. I know that wishing that there was another way doesn't make it. All we can do is hope that Vale and Mac both make the best decisions that they can.
Agreed.
Are we able to wait here? I know we're playing it by ear, but is there somewhere else that would be better for us to be?
Where?
I actually just want some clarity, because I don't recall if Echo was there when this came up. He mentioned... I believe he said that he was going to be at Axebreaker, right? While we were all together. I believe that was before Echo left the room.
I think that was just
really
us.
matter all that much, but okay,
No,
okay.
I
Yeah,
didn't
you're
mention a place until after.
right. Okay.
Well, if we know where they're going to go, I suppose we could be nearby in case something happens and they need our help. Or we can remove ourselves from the situation, because it's also not our place to be a part of this. But he's our friend.
He's our friend, but I don't think he expects or wants us to really be a part of it. And I understand. And there's two parts inside of me. One that wants to be there to support him and make sure nothing bad befalls him or Vale. There's a part of me that's not really okay with what they're doing.
I completely agree. Very well. Why don't we just get out of here for a while? Will you take a walk with me?
It would be my pleasure.
Echo will stand up and then put his arm out, like take my arm, and then I think realize how ridiculous that is because she's like double his height. Is she sitting? Is she sitting down? No, she was kind of pacing, right?
Yeah.
So I think then he'll just sort of dust himself and then gesture toward the door, bowing ever so slightly.
Melly will give a little curtsy and then walk.
And I think they'll just head out. And he will turn to Isla and
Who
say-
has not stopped looking at you more human-like the whole time.
Mm-hmm. He hasn't really been looking at her. But I think he'll turn back to Isla and just say, I think Vale will probably need you more than we will.
Isla just goes, and then just flutters up to your shoulder.
All right, then. And head out, I guess, into the city.
A little stroll.
Nice.
Vale comes out of that and just says, well, I think they're going for a walk, and as you can imagine, they're stressing out about this. Big time. Are you sure there's not another way? Would they just throw your family in prison? Or
I don't know. I can't say for sure.
Should also just ask, is that I've assumed that was the truth this whole time, but is that the truth?
Probably not.
It's not the truth.
No, it's not the truth. I mean, I'm not gonna say that it wouldn't have any like political impact on my father and his business, but they would not be thrown into jail. That was 100% a Mac lie to make everyone go along with this.
Okay. All right. So roll deception then on that, and Jake roll insight with.
Well, luckily I get to re-roll those.
Oh boy.
I mean, lucky for Mac anyway.
Jake, have Vale roll insight with advantage.
okay.
That's a 24.
And he's rolling with advantage because of his smuggler background.
I think
Basically,
I can only tie that.
I did get a nat 20, but I didn't think that's not a. I know it's not automatic on.
I thought I got a nat 22, but it was a 4. But the higher one was a 7, making it an 11. So he just.
Okay. So, yeah,
Right.
I mean, I'd say you believe him. Like, your gut tells you that
There's more.
there might be more, but
Yeah.
all evidence leads to,
Mhm.
like, even when you're looking at him and everything, he appears to be completely honest. Really doesn't seem like he's lying to you at all. It's just kind of you just have that gut feeling that
Yeah.
there's something more to the story.
I guess it's time to go get a drink.
Did they really ask through Isla what the plan was instead of coming back here and talking to us?
Yes, it was as if a child had drawn something. I kind of had to connect the dots a little. But
Mac sighs a little bit.
well, I understand that feeling well, actually. But honesty is what ultimately should win. Yeah, I felt like it was hard at first.
Well, so
But I feel like
there's-
my relationship with Echo has prepared a lot, actually. Melly, I think so. Maybe not quite as much. I kind of don't know.
I don't think they'll necessarily hold it against you.
I just want to make sure you're not alone. More than I am here for the job.
I appreciate that, and I don't want you to feel like you need. If you don't, I don't want to say don't feel comfortable with this because it's not. There's nothing comfortable about this, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like you don't have to. I do think I would be able to handle this on my own if it's possible.
For a
As
penny and for a
realist-
pound. I'm not going to
Well, there
leave you alone.
probably is one other thing that I should tell you. So, you know this dagger? Anyone that I kill, I can become them.
Like
And
this? And he
it's-
just turns himself into Melly and then just fades it away.
Yes, except is that an illusion or does that actually change you?
It's an illusion, and he does it again, and then he looks like a frost giant, and he looks about a foot taller than he is, but it's like a mini version of a frost giant, and then he actually just takes his hand and he goes like this through what would look like his head, but it's over his own head.
Well, I would say this is not an illusion. This would actually change my shape and dimensions to match the creature that I am looking like.
That is
But
very useful.
since I've acquired it, there's been no one that I've killed, so I don't have anybody I can turn into currently, but just wanted to let
Are
you
you-
know.
Suggesting you eliminate someone before we get there?
Not necessarily. I mean, possibly I was thinking about if I could eliminate one of his guards, if they were separate from him, that might be a good way to get him alone without it being suspicious. But I'm not going to say that thought didn't cross my mind to make it in there completely inconspicuous. But that's a little further than I'd prefer to go right now.
Right. Why don't we get more information first?
That sounds good to me.
Lead the way. Oh, and now he stops looking like a weird looking frost giant.
We start heading out and start heading towards the X-Breaker and our brewery.
Tommy just gave us the Danny DeVito meme. Like, so anyway, I started blasting. All right, so you're heading towards the Axebreaker Brewing Company.
Yes.
All right. As you make your way there, the time is about like, I'd say by the time you get there, it's like 8:15. There's some noise coming from inside. Probably good amount of people there. It is peak hours, peak time. It's definitely the most popular place to get a drink in town.
I think before we are approaching, he would find an alley and then look like a another elven male who looks like he might be in his, just maybe like a a childhood friend of Vale's, but just a little different, muddling the features a little, just to look like a different elf.
Okay, yeah, so still an elf, but just
nondescript civilian
Nondescript.
clothes. Yeah.
That ain't no problem. So you're gonna go in?
I think Vale's just looking at Mac.
You want to go in and glance around first?
Sure, I can do that.
Okay.
And he takes out his copper wire. He's like, I can always try and relay messages.
Sounds good.
And Vale is going to walk into the brewery and just see what he sees.
Yeah. So as you do that, let's have you. All right, let me. Here's what I'll do. I am going to put a mask on the map just to make one thing a little bit easier, and I will share it with you in one moment. Just waiting for the mask to clear because that just always seems to take a good amount of time. So we will do this. Boop, 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 boop.
Oh boy. Vale has no idea what he's doing too, in case anyone's curious. In case that hasn't come across.
All right. Why don't you pull up this map here?
It is loading. Oh my gosh, do we have a masterpiece?
We have a masterpiece.
Love it.
It's actually, it's a really sick map, honestly.
Okay, so okay, I'm trying to get my bearings. Is the door here at the bottom? Is that what that is?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
We'll say, I know you don't look like this, but
That's fine.
We'll just use Vale's token for you.
For the people at home.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, as you walk into to this building, there's a bunch of seating over to your left, and on the far wall there's a large fireplace and a couple chairs around it. A good amount of people in the building, and to your right, there appears to be a pretty long bar. Good amount of taps, and a lot of choices, and two bartenders working behind it. some sort of like half elf man and an elven woman.
Do I see any Empire paraphernalia?
Roll a perception check.
Ugh. 6 with the modifier.
Yeah, you don't see you don't see any Empire paraphernalia. But how about this, Mr. Jacoby?
Yes?
Would you like to take 20?
I would love to do that as long as there is enough time that I have there. The only risk is time. But yes.
Yeah, after a few minutes, you get your bearings and you're able to. Well, what do you do as well? Like, are you just standing at that front?
Okay, because I know a thing or two about restaurants. Based on right now and when we got the keg or cask for the queen, did I get any kind of an indication as to where the kitchen may be?
Yes, kitchen is behind the bar. Actually, I mean, if you're looking at the map,
is that
over
the
to your
door?
right. Yeah, over to your right. There's that long,
I think right here.
long bar. Yep, and then there's the elven woman standing, helping the half elf customer in front, and right behind her a door leading to the kitchen.
Okay, I think at this point Vale would just park. I'll move the token to this chair right here, or maybe that's a better spot. And he will just order a simple whiskey.
Okay. One thing I do want to mention. I meant to mention this before you both left the room. Mac, the poison, right? You wanted to know what the poison was.
Yes.
So you have two different things. So the poison vial that she handed you, it's some sort of poison that would need to be ingested. Like whether it's in food that someone ate or beverage that they drank. But essentially, if they consume this, then they're going to have to make a Constitution save, DC 15. Otherwise, they will get violently ill. And as you check your pockets as well, you feel a dart in your pocket. And you have expertise with all the poison tools and that kind of thing. So I will just I'll just tell you, it's a dart of we'll call it a dart of chaos. So if you successfully hit someone with that, they're gonna have to make a wisdom saving throw. If they fail that save, then whatever creature you use that on has to use its action to make a melee attack against a randomly determined creature within its reach. If there's no creature within its reach, it's just gonna do nothing.
Okay.
And one other thing. Echo and Melly, did you have any specific goal for your walk? Was there any specific place you wanted to visit?
So the goal of the walk was to just kind of not think about what's going on, to be as distracted as possible. And it probably started just with a walk through the town, maybe look at a couple of the stalls and window shop. And I believe that Echo and Melly are not aware of where Mac and Vale were heading. That this conversation happened only after they left the room.
That is true.
So we had Izzee and I had a little private chat on the side to actually have this exact discussion while everything was going on, and we think that it makes perfect sense for Echo and Melly to have decided after a bit, like, you know what, why don't we go like grab a couple pints and like dance like idiots to some music at the tavern, and like, the stuff we got from Axebreaker was pretty good. Why don't we head over there? It's like the big place in town. So I think that Echo and Melly's hangout, bonding session probably ended up with them at Axebreaker after a little while.
I agree.
As for when, I don't know.
You left before Vale and Mac did, so I think it's perfectly reasonable for both of you to be there already. So, that being said, where
One whiskey, please.
would you like to sit?
Oh, are they there? Are they there when I walk in?
Yes.
Wow.
Which
okay.
you will notice.
Yeah.
But
And Vale is disguised, right? He looks completely different.
Yep.
yes.
Okay. What do you think? All right, where's the band? Because I think that would probably, if there's like a bard or something,
Top left.
up
Of
in
the
the
map.
top left corner. Okay, so
Yeah,
like
in
where
that
that
top
circular
left
table
corner.
would be, there's no table there, and they're just,
Yep.
So, what do you think? Like the table right by where the band is,
Oh yeah, for sure. Like
just south of them,
just south. Yeah, the
maybe
bench.
right here, this big bench table. Yeah.
Yeah, because like you want to be. I think Melly would want to be able to sit and watch them.
Mm-hmm.
Probably same side, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So you can watch them play.
Mm-hmm. I like
Very
this.
nice. Very nice.
This is fun. Melly's having a good time drinking away all of her worries.
Yeah, escaping from the bad things that are happening or about to happen. Yep. Yeah, that's great.
Have a nice drink at the pub, wait for this whole thing to blow over. And then we'll meet at the teleportation circle or whatever. Wherever the stupid rock says.
All right.
Do they let Isla in?
Oh, that's a good question.
At the bar?
Yeah.
Yeah, do they allow birds?
Yeah, they wouldn't have a problem with it.
Do they allow birds? Great phrasing.
Is
They
the
wouldn't have a
bird of
problem with it.
age?
An emotional
Is the
support bird.
question.
It's the
Right.
bird of age.
It's
yeah.
actually true right now. Emotional support bird. So I think if Vale notices them before they sit down or not, I think he's still sitting down to order a whiskey.
Well, you got a 6 on your first perception check.
That's true. So I'm just.
So-
I guess this is the process of my 20. Is that
Yes.
okay?
Yeah. So, oh man, I got like a wicked Charlie horse a second ago. That's still
Oh yikes!
still go. So, essentially, yeah, I mean they're hanging out back there, and you took your seat, and you're trying to also just like pardon my posture right now because I just kind of have to hang out over here for a second.
His
But,
leg is on fire.
Okay. All right. So essentially, you go sit in your spot, and the elven woman bartender will walk up to you and just gonna say, "Hello there. What can I do for you?"
Hi, I'd like to have a snifter of whiskey, please.
Sure.
Unless you
Give me one
recommend
moment.
something else.
Well, we are a brewery. We do have fine whiskey, but we are known for ale.
Hmm. Do you have something that's just good to sip?
Sure, of course. How would you like a... How would you like an ale that's... You know what? I have the right thing for you. Just
I trust you.
give me a moment. And she'll kind of...
I think at that point he kind of, okay, and then just looks out over the thing
So-
again.
So specifically for like Dwendalian things, you don't find anything. There's nothing, no crests or, shields, anything like that. Nothing that screams Dwendalian Empire. Why don't you just roll another perception check quickly for me?
Even like an accent or, anything. You're in dice jail. 9. That's a 9.
Okay. So, dang. Well, I mean, right now you're just kind of chilling, like nothing really specifically comes to mind or anything. Nothing stands out crazily to you as you just kind of like, I feel like you're trying not to make it look like you're scoping the place out. You just kind of casually looking around and,
Yeah, not like casing the joint, but I mean like, yeah, hey, what's going on here? It's a musician in the corner, like, everything.
Yeah. As you look over to the musician in the corner, you think that you hear like a faint like "whoo," like come from that side as well. And you see Melly, what side of your cloak is pointed out right now?
I think we're still in conspicuous mode, so she would probably have like the forest green side out.
Okay. All right. Either way, you see a halfling man with freshly shaved mutton chops and you see Melly and Echo sitting at a table. A taller woman and a smaller man sitting down next to each other. They look very familiar.
Val just shakes his head slightly, but of course, mutters under his breath. And I think he would just wait for his drink at this point.
Okay. So give me one. All right. Well, okay. So your bartender just would walk back to you and put kind of a darker beverage down in front of you, and it's a full glass, pint glass, and she'll just say, "Here, try this out."
Just doesn't say anything, but takes a sip.
So first of all, it tastes strong. It is it's like some sort of stout that also has like a taste of like whiskey as well. So you're
Whiskey
getting
barrel.
like some chocolate and coffee notes as well with whiskey.
I think Val's face would light up. This is very nice. Thank you. How much do I owe you? Takes another sip.
Tell you what. First one's on the house. She'll give you a wink.
He just smiles back. All right.
So what brings you here?
Just passing through. Got caught here with the lockdown.
Ah. Are you enjoying your trip?
It's a nice city, I suppose. I think I could enjoy it a little more.
Well, there is plenty to enjoy about our fine city here. I hope you don't find your stay too boring.
Seems like pretty odd to lock down a city. Do you know really why they did that? I know they were talking about people from the dynasty or something. There was a big hubbub about it the other day.
I've
Seems extreme to me.
heard a few stories. Can't really say for sure, but oh well, I don't know. One way or another, it seems like someone is trying to get our city involved in a war where we have no business joining.
I think he just kind of shrugs like, yeah, you know.
Aren't you just roll straight charisma for me.
Okay. Well, that's a little better on a different dice. 16 total.
16 total?
Yes, sir.
Okay. As she's talking to you, she just kind of she says, I can't say for sure, but someone, it has to be someone important, is renting out our room right now. But it's one of those Kryn bastards. Warlords.
You do private parties, huh? Cool.
Oh. We offer plenty of services if the price is right.
I think he just kind of smiles wide at that point. I think he just puts a gold piece on the bar too. So some dynasty person rented out the room. What are they doing up there?
Who's to say?
Are they just hanging out there? You're not giving them food or something?
Oh, I mean, they're doing what wealthy aristocrats always do. Just drinking and eating, being merry. All that nonsense. Spending other people's money, I'm sure.
I think Vale takes out a second gold piece, puts it on the bar.
She kind of looks at you and like kind of cocks her head a little bit, like
He just
like, what's that
smiles.
for?
He just smiles with like that goofy guy grin. And he kind of there's like a He just kind of looks at her like he's got no game at all. But he just is. So what other kind of services do you offer?
I'll try not to laugh at the gift that you just sent now. She kind of like raises an eyebrow to you, and she just says, "I don't know what you think I was inferring, but I'm not that kind of girl. It's going to
I'm
take
sorry.
a lot more than 2 gold pieces to win me over.
Well, how much are we talking here? Like
But-
5?
Thank you." And she will just kind of take a few steps away, help like she was over here, in front of you, and now she sees this guy needs something, and she's gonna go kind of take his empty glass away and fill the next one.
Does it look like she's not coming back?
I mean, she'll
She's-
probably come back at some point, but like,
Not quickly. Yeah, I gotcha.
yeah.
Val just leaves the coin on there and stands up. Did you want to do something?
I was just gonna ask Mac what what he was working on right now.
So I would be looking around the building itself on the outside to see if like there was a back door possibly to like the kitchens, if there were any upstairs areas, windows, balconies that might be that I could possibly get through, or that there might be something going on, especially if there was like a balcony to where some people might be kind of partying inside and out. Just
Yeah, so make a perception check for me.
that is
Advantage.
advantage. 24.
Yeah.
This is not going to go well though, because I keep getting all these high rolls now. So whenever it's actually important, I'm rolling 2s, 3s. Anyway,
So you have you see the back entrance to the to the kitchen. There appears to be a door that way. With there's a back entrance by the kitchen. You also see that somewhat like kind of upstairs there is a balcony. And while there's no one standing on it now, you do see some light. It's pretty dark down here. You see some light coming from in there, and just kind of hear just like faint, just like people talking. Nothing specific, unless you're trying to, I don't know, trying to find a way to listen and hear exactly. But
I would say I'd probably keep an eye on that area, right, just to kind of like see if anyone did come out to get a glimpse as to who or what may be in that room.
so you try to. How are you trying to see who or what might be in that room?
Well, no, I'm more of like if anyone comes out on the balcony, just keeping an
Okay.
eye on the balcony itself, not, just so when I'm waiting for Vale to get back to me, I'm just kind of like, I don't know, smoking a pipe back there, just
Okay.
just kind of like taking a break almost.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, you don't see anyone going out on the balcony right now. It's you hear the sounds of people like talking and drinking and all that, but nobody appears to be walking out on the balcony.
I'll continue waiting there for right now.
All right. Izzee Echo,
Yeah, I mean, I know Echo's just vibing out. He's I think probably at this point maybe they're getting toward the end of a round of drinks. How many deep how long would you say we've been here? Were we here before Vale entered? Did we get here after? You mentioned that it was probable that we were already there.
I'd say you probably got there a couple minutes before Vale entered. Maybe 10 minutes, we'll say. And give me 1 second because the people are demanding costumes again, so I'll deal with the itchy hair again.
You gotta put it back on.
Apparently mullets are all the rage. They're super sexy. They're back.
Oh no.
No?
No.
That's not the rumor I heard. I heard mullets are like fire.
Oh boy.
I feel like the character Vale is looking like right now should have a mullet.
Yes, please make the character Vale is right now have a mullet.
It's too
That's
distinguishable.
canon
Dang it. Okay. All right, he's got a mullet.
Wonderful.
Like rolling shit from Schitt's Creek. That's what he looks like, but just as an elf.
That's great. All right. Yeah, so you've been there for like 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, something like that. You tell me how many drinks you've had in that time.
I would think if it was between 10 and 15 minutes, probably one, unless Melly made it clear that we're here to party. You know what I mean? I'll say that would be Echo's intent for like not like nursing it, but like, we're drinking about 10 minutes seems about right. 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, I definitely think like the first half of the first drink probably was a lot faster. Definitely ready for a second round, I'd say. Probably just the butt of the beer left.
The what?
Melly, I don't know why we haven't done this sooner.
I think it is a lack of opportunity.
You know, you're right. We are too busy adventuring and getting lost in caves and losing months of our lives. I'm gonna finish this drink, and I would like to get another drink. Would you like another drink?
I would love to join you for another drink.
To a good night. For once.
Yes.
Clink.
Probably a
Finish
little
this
harder
drink.
of a clink than they needed to do.
Spillage out of the beer butt.
Oh
I don't
no.
like that.
Oh boy. What?
Not a fan.
Not a fan either. So what do you think you two were drinking? Are you drinking the Frost Giant's Fury again, or trying something else out, or what's your story?
I'll say Echo would have probably looked for something a little on like the sweeter, like maltier side. So maybe like a brown ale, something not like overly light, but not too hard to drink. So probably doing
Okay.
a brown ale.
Okay.
He's just drinking whatever Echo's drinking.
And is it just Echo that went to the bar?
We didn't discuss that yet.
Oh, okay. Because Vale is standing up, deliberately looking over at them, wanting to see what you're doing.
They also have sours there too. Just, well, I don't know. I don't know if Echo would be a sour guy. I feel like Melly would be a sour girl, but I don't know if Echo would be a sour guy.
I think if the bartender offered it, he would try it. Like after the first drink, I think he's interested in trying new stuff. Why not?
Okay.
But he will also ask Melly
you want to come with? Is there something you'd like? Do you want to go get the drinks? I don't mean to. What would you like to do?
So I have a question for the DM.
Sure.
When we came in, did we notice that the waiters were they like going to tables to serve people? Like if Melly just like raises her hand, can she expect service or?
It's pretty busy, so yes, you know, if they notice that you need help, they will go over to you and help. It would be faster to go to the bar, but they will definitely get to you at some point. They're pretty good servers there. But
I think if we want our drinks sooner rather than later, I will go get them. Since it's busy, I just don't want us to lose our table. So
Oh,
one of us should stay here and the other will get the drinks. I'm okay with getting the drinks.
okay. I'll stay here with Isla, and we will dance.
And Echo will scoop up Isla by her feet and then just like kind of waltz with her a little bit.
For some reason, I thought she was upside down, hanging by her feet. But I understand what you're saying now better.
I love this. Izzee, as Melly walks up to the bar, the bartender, you get the here. We'll move you over here. This gentleman pop back over there, and he's actually the same guy who helped you all when you got the cask. And they'll just say, my friends, what can I do for you? Back for another cask of Frost Giant's Fury.
Not quite. We are here to have a good night. So we just had a delicious drink, but we are looking for our second round.
All right. Would you like to try another of what you just had, or something
Let's
different?
Do something different. What would you recommend?
My personal favorite on the menu right now would be it's a Star Spawn sour, and it's lovely. Notes of mango and pineapple in it. It's just
Two.
very drinkable. And
I will
also-
have two.
Of course. And I'll pour them for you, and he'll just ask, just put it on the tab.
Yes.
All right. And he'll hand you the two drinks and say that. Just give me a shout if you need anything.
What was your name again?
Jeremy.
Jeremy. Okay. Thank you very much. Melly will whisk the drinks off. Back to the table. Echo, do we have a tab here?
Echo does a big shrug.
Okay. This is some sort of starlight sour. I don't know what that means, but Jeremy was nice enough to recommend it.
Well, if it's good enough for Jeremy,
And he'll grab it and clink, take a big sip.
I think at that point, if it's okay for Vale to saunter over to the two of them, he will.
Yep. Do you think?
Okay. And he just... I think he approaches from behind, and you hear Vale's voice. So you picked a very opportune location.
Sure.
Oh, Echo,
He winks at Echo.
he sounds like Vale, but he does not look like Vale.
Melly, it's me.
His name is me.
I think Vale chuckles a little bit.
Sir, we're trying to have a nice evening out, if you don't mind.
Echo, Melly, it is me, Vale. That's Isla, my owl.
Oh. What are you doing here?
He just like kind of goes like gestures. Never mind.
Oh, hells.
I didn't think you wanted to be involved. I thought I'd.
Wait, here? Right now?
Just keep your voice down.
Here? Right now?
I think he just sits down on the other side. Any Star Trek fans, he pulls a Commander Riker as he kind of goes over the chair. You're just going to sit here and drink?
Was my
We-
plan.
It was my plan too.
Because I'm
Also,
just telling
dance,
you.
Possibly?
Okay. If your goal is to have nothing to do with this, you should leave. But if you want to stay just in case, then you're in a good spot. I'm sorry to bring it up. I just thought you would want to know.
Melly? What do you think?
It might be beneficial to be here and know what everyone else knows after.
I'm sorry, could you repeat what you said? Because I think I missed a bit of it.
It might be beneficial to stay for after the fact. We could sort of find out what they know as they find out what happened.
Well, I guess we're already here, aren't we?
This was not quite what I had expected tonight.
All right. We'll be here.
Okay. Second thought, I actually might need her. And Isla disappears.
Told you.
I should always listen to you.
Yes, you should.
And then he'll wave Vale off
Yeah.
a little bit like,
Yeah. Aces, listen. I kind of don't know what I'm doing. I just wanted to make sure he was not alone. But if there's something else behind this, which I cannot help but suspect there is, I'm going to try and stop it. Just thought you should know. He just nods and walks away.
Echo takes a much smaller sip of his drink.
Vale the buzzkill. I think Vale is just at this point, he's just going to take some time to see what happens. Like if he could see if there's another room that might lead to like a private area or anything like that, that could be taken a different way. A private area in the bar that, okay. Yeah. It's like, does he see that door? Was it up on the from where they are? Is that a window? I'll put Vale's token there, but I think you're muted.
First I said make a perception check, but are you walking up to that door and
No, I was just saying, like, what does that look like?
Okay. Yeah, I mean it's a door for sure.
Okay.
Can you just roll a quick perception for me?
Oh, that's a little better. 23.
Okay. So, as you turn to leave their table and kind of like check around the place, and at this point you're checking for anything of note, right?
Entry points, yeah.
Yeah. Immediately in front of you at the table adjacent of Melly and Echoes, you see a dwarf and an elf, and you recognize that both of them are glass blades. As you continue like making your way back to the bar, you see that there's a door on the top right. Just basic knowledge kind of tells you that the door to the door by the bar would lead you to the kitchen. You already know where the entrance is. If there's a private room, it's probably going to be behind that door. And the other thing that you see is the dude. There's a table. Well, there's two tables right outside that door, and it is a pretty packed bar. Like there's a good amount of people in this building. Pretty much every table has people sitting at it. The table closest to the door is empty, and the table next to that one is one person sitting at it, and he has a beer that does not look like he has touched sitting in front of him, and he's just kind of looking around the room.
Okay. So I'm getting potential guard vibes here. I think at this point he left a couple of coins at the bar. Vale's gonna walk out.
Okay.
And I think he's just gonna do his copper wire Mac thing after he finds oh, Mac, where are you? Mac, where are you? Mac, where are you? Kind of a thing until he gets a response.
I'm around the backside of the brewery.
It seems like there's only one way from the bar to get to where they're going. I know where the kitchen entryway is. There's a guard right at the door. I definitely creeped out a bartender. But I have Isla. Are there windows that you want me to scope out with her?
There is one balcony over here that you might be able to, that I can definitely tell there's some people in.
All right. I think Vale at this point is kind of just walk around towards the back of the thing until he maybe sees him. You said you're not trying to hide. You're just looking nondescript, right?
Correct.
Okay. He also, once he sees you, he kind of sits down across the way or whatever and does the message spell again. He goes, one other thing. Melly and Echo are there.
In this bar brewery?
Yep. Told
I
them
wanted
get
to
lost.
leave right when we finished and take the teleportation circle and get out of here. Now they're gonna...
Told them to leave, but I think they're going to stay in case they can be helpful.
Oh, this complicates things.
I think Vale's gonna have Isla fly up to that balcony and not right up to it, but maybe do like a flyby and see what she sees.
All right.
Okay.
As she flies by, she looks in and sees 4 men sitting
And a
around the
baby.
table. Huh?
Said and a baby. Never mind.
And you could, if you want to move the map so people could see the top right corner that was previously blacked out.
Aha. Got it.
4 men sitting at a table,
Oops.
all just kind of sharing drinks and chatting.
I'm assuming Vale knows what Obamius looks like.
Yes, he does.
Is one of them Obamius?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Is there any kind of tree? Well, it might not be easy in Uthadern, but is there any kind of a out of the way spot where she could land? If not, that's fine.
Why don't you roll a d20 for luck, and we'll see.
11. Very middle of the road.
There's something she could sit on, but she would only be able to see like a corner of the room, like not. It's not at that perfect angle where she could look straight in and see everything that's going on. She could kind of see like. I don't want to draw on this map, but at the same time, she could see this corner right here. Can you see it? Should I draw more? Is that better?
Oh, it's fine. Yeah, I got that. The bottom
Okay.
right. I zoomed in a bit. As soon as she does her little lands in that spot, you just cast message again to Mac. He's in there. There's 3 of us.
It's gonna be tough.
I'm pretty good with distractions.
So does that mean that there was no other rooms that other than like the kitchen area that?
Yeah, it's not an inn. It's like a
Okay.
bar or restaurant. So that they have like
Mid.
the one room for private parties, but you know that it's not used often, so they just have the one.
Okay.
Vale didn't recognize any of the other guards, did he?
He did not.
Okay.
Okay, so I do have a question for you, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to, well, first off, how long could someone hold their breath? Like, how long could Mac hold his breath?
Like a stupid amount of time, probably
Okay.
longer than you. Probably longer than you would need because it's D&D and their rules for. Let me just look up drowning because that's where
I
that.
think it's
comes
for
into.
every modifier you have a whole minute. Every
Yeah,
con
something
mod,
like
you have a whole
that.
minute. You can hold your breath.
Well, so the dust of sneezing and choking says when you use an action to throw a handful of the dust into the air, you and each creature that needs to breathe within 30 feet must succeed on a DC 15.
So, I get what you're saying. It specifically says needs to breathe.
Correct. Okay.
But I'm
I
gonna
understand
say
if you don't, but
I'm-
just
I'm gonna say holding your breath is gonna give you advantage on the save. but you still would have to make the save. Only because, well, it doesn't really make any sense. Yeah, if you could hold your breath, I guess that's fine.
So now, is this? I take it then. I thought this was the second floor. This was still the first floor then. This area.
I thought so too.
The area that they're in is a second floor. It's not
okay.
crazy high up, but it is a second floor.
Would it be crazy for Mac or Vale to try and climb up to it? Like how high off the ground is the balcony?
Balcony, I'd say, is probably 12, 15 feet off the ground, something like that.
It's really not that bad.
And is this an alleyway in the back, or is this like another street on the back side of it?
The back side of it is an alleyway.
Can I look around to see if it looks like there's anyone else like watching or anything?
Make a perception check.
That is a 9.
So you see this crazy hippie looking dude hanging out around, crazy long hair, crazy long beard, smoking a pipe. But you can't really tell if he's you don't really know what he's paying attention to. He's kind of doing his own thing. So
I'm gonna try to climb up in whatever way I can up to the balcony.
okay. When you say whatever way you can.
Well, I don't know, if I don't know what kind of building this is. If it's wood, if it's brick.
It's it's like a stone building, kind of resembles brick in its construction. There are railings on the balcony.
I mean, so I would think that there would probably be some sort of I don't know, most balconies and stuff like that you see, there are places you could kind of possibly work your way up towards to being able to grab on, then pulling yourself up. I'm thinking, with the stone, there's got to be different layers, that there might be some handholds and footholds and possibly some sort of dumpster-ish type of thing back there that, maybe
I mean,
scraps get thrown into.
There's definitely a dumpster. It's a little far from the balcony, just because it's closer to the door to the kitchen, probably 10 or 15 feet away from the balcony. But I mean, yeah, it's a stone building. An experienced climber would probably be able to find a way up.
I'm gonna try to climb it.
All right. As much as it pains me to say this, let's I think we're gonna pick up from there next week.
Oh.
Hold on, I
Sorry.
know something for this. Make Diamicus continue. Continue. Nope. Okay.
Listen, I mean, if
Force
everyone wants to
overtimius.
play, if everyone wants to play until 11, that's a different story. But otherwise, we can't.
I understand.
So, I guess we will just have to find out what happens next week. Thank you all for hanging out tonight. Sorry for the cliffhanger. I promise I really didn't want to end in this cliffhanger. Specifically this cliffhanger. But hope you had a good time here. If this is your first episode, I really hope you enjoyed yourself and you could catch up on past episodes. If you're trying to see the beginning, you're gonna have to go to Spotify or anywhere else where you find podcasts and go Rare Drop Roleplay. We are the Ancient Relics and Hokey Religion show. If you're looking for the video episodes, not all of them are on YouTube. They are going to be on YouTube soon, and we're actually going to be doing a kind of like watch party live thing for the first episode. We'll be doing that sometime soon. Just stay tuned to socials because we'll post when we do it. But you'll be able to find past episodes. Just go to our YouTube, youtube.com/J Tabletop. We have a playlist in there. You'll find all the things. So everybody, if you want to find us, just do Command J&J in chat. Look under everyone's name right now. It has their tag, and you'll be able to find them and catch up with them. Evan is probably going to be streaming this week, so check him out. And otherwise, we'll see you on the next one. So thank you all for hanging out. We really appreciate you, and we'll see you on Sunday.